street.
Let's welcome to the stage a host nation qualifier playing in his second European Tour event. Germany's Christian Bunce! We now welcome to the stage the man from Wales, a Gibraltar Darts Trophy finalist, the PDC World Championship semi-finalist, Fireball J.Lewis!
Well, a matchup between a bright German prospect, home nation qualifier Christian Bunce against the Fireball J.Lewis, a man who reached the semi-finals of the World Championship with an absolutely sensational run at Alexandra Palace at the end of last year, but he's had to wait the best part of 4 months to return to playing darts on the big stage. His first appearance on the Euro Tour. He did appear at the UK Open finals but didn't make it to the only stage that we had at Minehead this time around. This for the right to take on the number 5 seed Daryl Gurney in the second round tomorrow, and he'll be hoping it doesn't go a similar way to the match that we had this afternoon between a German player and a Welshman. Robert Owen whitewashed 6-0 by Martin Schindler. I would be very surprised if it did go that way, Dan Dawson.
I would be surprised as well, but Christian Bunce, even though you might not have seen him playing that much, you know, he's not been a regular on the European Tour circuit. We saw him at the European Darts Open last year. He went out in round 1. He was beaten by Jerry Hendricks. He has been playing a lot of development tour stuff, and he's got to the back end of one of those development tours. He was only beaten by Dimitri Vandenberg in the semi-finals in one of those last year. So he's been accruing experience, and we have seen that German dart players are very, very capable. Gabriel Clemens has been playing good stuff, although it didn't work out for him this afternoon. Martin Schindler showed us what he's about today. And can we see another young German following the footsteps of the German number 1 Max Hopp and go and really establish themselves a force in this game? And J.Lewis is a young man himself, but he's been around for so long, he's got so much experience, and he's going to get a lot more of that this year because he's making his debut on the World Series. Yeah, just 26 years old, J.Lewis, a man who reached the final of a European Tour event in Gibraltar. What was that, 2013? 2013, yes it was. He's beaten by Phil the Power Taylor.
120! Yep, the same man who knocked him out finally after that fantastic run at Alexandra Palace. And a lot to be said for how quickly a career can change, because J.Lewis was the 3rd place qualifier in the PDPA qualifier that was held, the last chance saloon, and J.Lewis grabbed his opportunity with both hands. 140!
And he's become, seemingly out of nowhere, a very big 180 hitter, J.Lewis, all from that World Championship. And it wasn't just one mad tournament out of the blue where he suddenly started hitting everything. In the Pro Tour this year, he's still hitting a lot of 180s. Granted, he's not been going on massive runs deep into tournaments, although he did make a semi-final at 9 darter.
58.
But he has been hitting a lot of 180s, and that will give you chances.
Yeah, around 3 a match on average, J.Lewis, 74 from 25 matches. That's on just the Players' Championship circuit, obviously.
Yeah.
Some at the UK Open as well. Looking for a 1-2-3 here. So treble 18 now. Gives him a shot. 93. And Bunce may well take aim at the same target. Just needs 1 treble 19. And a single. Or another treble. but not that.
70. Jamie requires 30.
Now, does he go straight at it? Does he split it?
Game
Straight
shot,
at it,
first
straight
leg,
in it.
J.Lewis.
1-0 up.
To the right back.
Yeah, one of the beauties about the Dart Connect system that we've got, it doesn't just tell you raw data like how many 180s somebody hits. Because obviously, you know, somebody who's playing every single tournament and going deep into them is going to hit a lot more 180s than somebody who's been going out in round one or only playing half the tournament. But it's got a handy little thing about how frequently they hit them. And Jamie Lewis, 6.8% of his visits are 180s. Now, what do I do with that information? Well, let's put it this way. There's only 4 players that are higher than him in that regard. And one of them only played 2 games, so that's a bit of an anomaly in Robert Rickwood. But Steve West, Rob Cross and Ian White, they're the only guys who are hitting 180s more regularly per visit than Jamie Lewis. And that is some stat over 10 events. Obviously now we've condemned him for not hitting a maximum, not only today, but probably over the course of the entire weekend.
You've condemned him.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
Well, he will be taking on the biggest 180 hitter in the Premier League, should he get through. Super Chin, Darryl Gurney.
65.
Very popular with our cameraman, that young lady. I think it's the headwear, although it's the same headwear you've chosen to wear today. I'm not sure what the little pink dingy bopper thing. Why is that? I don't think it particularly suits you.
Well,
I've had plenty of hairstyles that haven't particularly suited me, Dan. Sarcasm does not suit you.
93. Jamie required 157.
Well, a 157 finish would suit a change of topic. Not going to happen.
100.
But we'll continue to talk about the darts anyway.
Single 18 leaves tops. The Bunsen burner.
37.
May be going 2-0 down to the fireball here. Jamie Lewis decided to leave 99 here. Was it a wise decision? Maybe not.
Well, let's see if Bunce can level up on top. Could use that. Too low, double 10. Oh, the grimace as he took aim at double 10. And he does level up against Lewis.
Game on.
Well, Martin Schindler ran away with his game against Robert Owen, and so he had plenty of support in what was a much sparser crowd this afternoon.
93.
But he didn't really need it because Robert Owen didn't push him at all. Gabriel Clemens didn't keep his game with Jan Dekker close enough, to be honest. He got 3 legs in the end, but Jan had pulled away quite early on in that game, and the crowd never really made themselves a factor. Christian Bunce here, if he can keep it close, they could, because there's plenty of them in tonight,
140.
they could start to play a role in this game. It's down to Jamie Lewis to just get a hold of this, get a 2 or 3 leg lead, keep Bunce at arm's length, and just take the crowd out of it as much as possible at any rate.
Yeah, out of the 5 German qualifiers, they would usually hang their hopes on Hop. He's been handed perhaps the toughest draw, the toughest non-seed in the draw. His matchup with James Wade later this evening. And the other home nation qualifier, Robert Marjanovic, closing the show tonight against Andy Bolton.
I have to say, when I looked at the lineup for tonight, I thought it was as good a looking lineup as we've had on a Friday evening on a Euro Tour for some time. First game, the clash of the BDO major champions, certainly delivered. Fantastic display from Danny Noppert. Jermaine Watermaner and Tony Alcinas gave us plenty of drama.
Everything requires 68.
What's this going to give us?
Well, this could turn the match into Bunce's favour. And that is a very smart and clinical finish from Christian Bunce.
Full flag, Christian to Ropas. Game on.
It's strange, we are 5 events into the European Tour and they do come thick and fast. We have another one next weekend, the Dutch Darts Masters, and Jamie Lewis did manage to qualify for that too.
100.
But we saw Aaron Monk in the very first match of the day, won, but it's been so long since he played on the big stage, he found it a real...
Just an alien environment for him, wasn't
and
it?
I know it's only been a few months for Jamie Lewis, but you just get the feeling he's a little bit caught up in it early in this match.
Yes, I mean, look, he was not far away from making the World Championship final. He played very well in his semi-final with Phil Taylor. It's just the odd double here and there. Every single set bar one went to a last leg decider. And if you can go on that sort of run at the Worlds, then you're thinking you can do it anywhere. But if you're not doing it regularly, it can take a little while to get your feet back under the table, and certainly to be able to just feel comfortable to play your best stuff.
Yeah, it's a baffling game, isn't it, darts, particularly to the players themselves, who will just get to a position and wonder why things aren't happening. Now, Jamie Lewis may turn on the style from here and run away with this match, but
100.
I think it's a question that often darts players ask themselves: why can't I bring my practice game onto the big stage?
Well, to be honest, the reverse was true of Jamie Lewis as well at the Worlds. He didn't really have an explanation about why he was playing so well. That's a wonderful setup shot from him.
It certainly was well done, and should see him tie up the match and wrestle back control with it. Double 14. Nicely done. 13 dart leg.
Yeah, Jamie Lewis going into the World Championship and had the worst 6 months in terms of results on the full tour of his PDC career. And he missed out on the Worlds, and he thought he wasn't playing well enough to come through the qualifier anyway. But as you say, he nicked that third qualifying spot, which was only there because Dimitri Vandenberg won the World Youth Championship. Had he not done so, had Josh Payne beaten him in the final, Jamie Lewis wouldn't have been there. But he just said that he think he got fed up of losing, got fed up of playing poorly. And, I mean, some of us have been fed up of being poor and losing for a long, long time, but it doesn't suddenly turn you into a world-class player. He can't really explain what's happened.
Yeah, it seemed to be that one match against Peter Wright that just changed everything. And he just carried on like that, didn't he? It wasn't a one-off. Continued throughout the World Championship. Even in defeat, he's shown signs on the floor events this year that he's capable of reproducing that standard more often.
Yeah, I mean, there haven't been many massive averages, but there have been lots in the high 90s.
And there's a difference as well, isn't there, between preparing yourself for one match and getting yourself up for that, and potentially 7 in a day.
Yeah, and I spoke to Jamie the other day as he looks to pile in one of those 180s that he is so adept at doing, and that is his first one, and it's the perfect time to produce it because it leaves himself on double top, and it could be back-to-back 13 dart legs for Jamie Lewis to go into the lead.
And it's back-to-back 3 treble setup shots to leave himself those doubles.
Jamie Lewis, Christian to Ropas.
Yeah, and if you look at his averages on the Pro Tour, Jamie Lewis,
140.
often is his first game that can be the troublesome one.
Well, he's picked up some notable wins against big-name players, hasn't he? He beat Whitlock at the weekend. He's beaten Gary Anderson
60.
this year. He's looked dangerous, much more dangerous than he was doing at the back end of last year. But when I spoke to Jamie, he did say he really likes tournaments like the Worlds, like the match play, the World Grand Prix, and neither of which the World Grand Prix he's done well, and the match play he's not made a dent in yet. But he likes those ones where you have one game to prepare for each day. Now, that should mean for a day like today, and indeed tomorrow, if he does make it through this one, he should be in a good place. He should be able to step up and perform, and lo and behold, at the minute he's averaging around about the 97 mark, which is kind of what we've been seeing him do on the tour.
50.
Yeah, and he is capable of going on those days and winning several matches, because of course he has wins on the Development Tour and Challenge Tour.
Yeah, and of course the day he went on to the final of the Gibraltar Darts Trophy 5 years ago, the 21-year-old, yeah, he beat the likes of Adrian Lewis, Kevin Painter, at the time I believe was a Premier League player, or just about to become a Premier League player.
Well, Bunce are in this one looking in a decent position to level things up. He is looking at the 19s, but now he's decided that he doesn't need to go for the bullseye at the end of it, so what's the point in staying there, especially with a dart that had obstructed the target somewhat.
Sensible, pragmatic darts, like it, good thinking.
140.
Not sure about that last dart of the 20 there, but could have hit a 180 and created a bit of noise, made that a little bit more difficult for Buncer. Didn't happen.
He's got this kind of extra concentration thing, Christian Buncer, going on, where he's going for a double and kind of clenches his lips a little bit more.
The Bunsen Gurner.
140.
Nicely done. But have a look at that. Next time he's going for one. I've noticed he's seemed to hit the double when he's done that.
Going away, my man. It's working. Well, he's a good 10 points off in the averages, Christian Buncer, but it matters not because it's level in legs. He is going to have to find a break of throw. But he did manage to produce one in the third leg before being immediately broken back. J.Lewis is in a game, and as I said earlier on, if this can end up tight, the crowd could play more and more of a role.
Yeah, Bunce had to win 4 matches last night to get here. The decisive one against Rennie Idams. So another decent, well-known name in German darts. I was looking at the qualifiers for this. I know that we've had 5 of them, but I think it's about as strong a field as the home nations provided. Hopp and Schindler both getting through.
Yeah, I think you can... It's interesting, isn't it? Because we've seen a number of young German players and guys who've been mixing it on the development tour and winning a few games on the development tour here and there. And occasionally, like Fabian Hertz is another guy, as J.Lewis looks at the single 16 to leave tops.
96.
He will come back. And you're just wondering about who the next young player from Germany could be to kind of establish themselves and, you know, perhaps get their tour card. It could be Buncer, could be Fabian Hertz, maybe somebody like Rennie Idams, who obviously has got a few years on them. Get on the full tour. And I don't think you can underestimate the impact that can have, because, all right, you've got to have a certain amount of talent, but look at Mensur. Mensur's the template. Mensur was always talented, but it's only when he started playing week in, week out, testing himself against the best, that he got better. And he got better and better and better and became a major champion and a Premier League player. Not saying everybody has the potential to do that, but you've got to learn. You've got to try.
Well, there's no lack of inspiration, is there, to become a professional darts player in Germany? Just look at the crowds that turn out, and having seen Max Hopp taste sweet success in Saarbrücken, there will be plenty more promising prospects hoping to taste something similar. And Bunce among that
140.
sort of undercard of German players coming through. J.Lewis in qualifying had to win just a couple of games to get through to this one. Beat Tony the Bear Newell and Brendan Dolan.
Was it Brendan that Jamie played at the World Championship qualifier and missed match darts against him, and then went into that third, fourth playoff?
I think I do recall that. Yeah, the third playoff was against Chris Quantock, wasn't it?
Yes.
I think it was. Yeah, I remember. It was a very long day, and I had to listen to you all day.
Yeah, I know. Can you imagine? Now then, can you imagine a 177 here? Can you imagine it?
139.
It'd be a bit like that, just with another 38 points.
Well, can you imagine a 148?
I can, Chris. I can.
Well, you have to.
134. Jamie requires 62.
62 now the target for Lewis to really take control of the tie. And he's going to get 2 darts. Need them both. I'm going to need to step across slightly. Only very, very slight adjustment from Jamie Lewis.
30.
And that was unlucky. Well thrown dart.
14.
These are awkward. These can be really awkward. And they can get more and more awkward.
Well, he never attacked it, did he? Scared of going inside. And never really gave himself a chance. And his chances of staying in this tournament could be slipping away. But once again, Lewis is going to have to try and navigate his way through an assault course.
16.
Well, a little smirk from Jamie Lewis there. He did the tricky bit of getting past his own massive javelins of darts and then found it right on the wire of double 8. Now Christian.
They attacked it that time, Dan.
Attack the 2.
12. Jamie
Don't
requires
attack it that
16.
much. 5 darts missed for the leg by Christian Bunce. Double 4. Oh my. Oh my.
Christian, you require
Well, dog and
2.
duck darts on the European Tour stage right now. And it's such a crucial leg.
Jamie, you require 4.
And I think the nerves have got the better of Buncer there.
Aim shot in the 8th leg. Jamie Lewis.
Well, maybe, just maybe, we're seeing a difference there between a guy who's played, what, 1 big stage game in the last year compared to a guy who's playing in the semi-finals of the World Championship. Because Buncer has acquitted himself pretty well. He's not disgraced himself at all. He's given Jamie Lewis a stern examination for the first, well, big section of this match. And it isn't over, but when it came to some really nervy, edgy stuff there, couldn't take his chance, and you could tell it was nerves. You could tell it. I mean, that last dart at double 1. Yeesh.
100.
Was it 9 he missed? 10?
I think it was 10.
And most of them nowhere near the intended target.
Yeah. Panic stations.
And that's not a criticism,
125.
Christian. That will come with time. Because there's only one way to become experienced, isn't there?
Do it.
54. Jamie requires 130.
Jamie Lewis looks like he might run away with this now. Single 16 will give him 3 match darts, looking at double top. And Christian Buncer, it'll be disappointment for the Germans, I think. Can he finish with a flourish? Go on, pile in a 180. Oh, agonising. And he smiles about it, but that might be that.
It might not be.
20.
And Buncer gets perhaps one last chance. 115 the target.
Treble 19 leaves double 19. And that double 19, that's right next to that double 7, isn't it? That double 7 that he couldn't hit.
And again, the dart at double, a long way off. Tungsten tension. And Christian Bunce is somehow still in this tournament and still in with a chance. Now, what did he do here? Does he split it?
He has to split it, surely. He can't go straight at it. Yeah, sensible decision, I think. And it pays dividends. And this game is not over, because that is a break back, a hold of throw here, and we are going the distance. And I have to say, on many occasions in the past, I've praised J.Lewis's temperament when it comes to last leg deciders. He is still going to be a heavy favourite if it does go to a final leg. He would have the throw, he's got a lot more experience, and he seems to be very, very good at handling that situation. But normally J.Lewis, you know, when I've seen him before, often he's been the underdog. You know, he's on a free roll, nothing to lose. Here, he's a World Championship semi-finalist who's expected to win against a host nation qualifier, and that might give him a little slightly different perspective on things than when, say, he was in Gibraltar and beating Kevin Painter and Adrian Lewis on the way to the final. Both in last leg deciders, as it happens.
And of course the crowd here will be on the side of his opponent too. That's a different feeling for the Welshman.
140.
I tell you what, it does just show. I know all the doubles are the same size, but you could see a complete contrast in comfortability when Christian Bunce went for that double 16 compared to the other ones.
Oh, the old comfortability, eh?
Why not?
That may be because it's not a word, but I'll give it you. Murph, you can coin whatever you like.
34.
Tell you what, though, that's an impressive 3 visits from J.Lewis, given the circumstances. Missing 6 match darts, and there's a temptation to panic, but he's just got on with the job and given himself an opportunity for more match darts. No need to go 20 and bull.
But he's going to return once again at match point. Bunce trying to do some kind of damage, but all he could really do was hit and hope. Not managed to really hit, not hard anyway. And his hopes have been extinguished. The fireball defeating Christian Bunce, J.Lewis, on his return to big stage darts for the first time since that fantastic Ali Pali rally. Wins and moves through to the second round of the European Darts Grand Prix, where he will take on Daryl Gurney. We'll be back in a few moments' time when Marino Michaels takes on Jamie Caven. Another Jamie on the stage, but we'll hear from this one first, as the winner, J.Lewis, talks to our man Dan Dawson.
Congratulations, Jamie. It got a little bit tense, a little bit edgy towards the end there. Were you concerned at any moment that you might have blown your chance?
To be fair, yeah, probably was. I was not that fluent all game, to be fair. I think I managed to get. I did what I had to do, but it's not. I didn't feel comfortable at all in that game. But hopefully, I'll play better tomorrow.
You're still a young man in darts, but you've got a fair few years' experience on Christian there. Do you think experience was the telling factor in you being able to get over the line? Because there were little sections where you were both missing a lot of doubles.
Yeah, it might have been, to be fair, yeah. Like the one leg where he should have had me, really, went down to a double, and it was just ridiculous darts. But I managed to get that leg, and I suppose that kind of helped me on. But yeah, maybe experience kind of got me through. But it's one of those games, I think. None of us played well, but I'm just lucky enough I got through it, so.
You have got through it. You've set up a tie with Daryl Gurney, the Grand Prix champion. You two both get going. It could be double figures of 180s, couldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I know for a fact I'm going to be a lot better than I have tonight. But I'll early night tonight. I'll get back in the practice world tomorrow, and I'll hopefully I'll hit a lot of 180s and see what happens.
Congratulations, Jamie. Saved you through to the second round. J.Lewis, the fireball.